Welcome to the Society's Privacy Training Module for Event Volunteers. My name is Peter Cohane, and I am the Privacy Official for your American Cancer Society. As part of our commitment to privacy, we are required to train staff and volunteers on the privacy policies, rules, and guidelines that may affect the invaluable work you do for the Society. As a volunteer of the Society, you play a critical role in protecting the confidentiality of all our customers, including our event participants, your fellow Society volunteers, and even our staff. That means it is important that you understand how you help keep our personal information protected. This short training video will help guide you as you collect, use, share, and store participant personal information at your event. Please watch this video and remember these guidelines as you make your event a successful one. Remember, in a very real sense, you represent the Society in your community, which means our responsibility to protect our customers extends to you as well. At some Society events, we collect personal health information, such as a participant's cancer diagnosis or survivorship. We may also collect financial account numbers when, for example, participants register or make a donation. Finally, we may collect other personal information about a participant, such as their cell phone number or email address. Consider all of this to be confidential, which means taking extra care when collecting, using, sharing, or storing this type of information. First, it is critical that you limit how you use data you collect from an event for purposes only related to that event. That means you do not promote other fundraisers by using past participant lists to send your promotion. Do not make personal requests or share personal notes not related to the event unless you know the other event participants. Do not share others' personal health information unless you have permission from that individual. Now, one note about this point. We know that cancer stories are very powerful, and we encourage you and others to share stories about how cancer has touched their lives. Simply ask the individual ahead of time if you can share their story, so they are made aware of what you wish to do. If you want to publish stories or post health information publicly, such as in a newspaper, website, or announcement board, simply ask first. Finally, do not announce donation amounts to other event participants unless you have permission from the donor. One additional point here as well. If you list donors or honorees in a program or other handout materials that participants read and take home with them, make sure you ask the honoree or his or her family first, and do not list specific donation amounts. Instead, use donation ranges or categories, such as gold, silver, and bronze. Remember, participant registrations and donations are for this event, not other activities, and you should not use data from this event for other purposes. Also, there is no need to document the permission for these types of uses. As I mentioned earlier, as a volunteer, you represent the Society at this event, and you must remember that the Society has an obligation to be mindful of the privacy of our customers. This differs, though, if the personal data comes not from Society staff or volunteers, but event participants themselves. For example, quite often, Society events like yours will have specific places where participants can share their thoughts and feelings about cancer. It might be on luminaria bags at Relay for Life events. You may provide a note board or message board where participants can write personal notes to survivors or those who've lost the battle with cancer. You may have an open mic where participants can tell their own story about cancer. Although the notes and stories may include personal information, perhaps even information about someone other than the participant, because these come directly from participants and not from Society staff or volunteers, they are fine to share at your event. It would not be appropriate, though, to publish this information outside the event, such as in a local newspaper, unless, of course, you have permission from the participant. Next, you should follow a minimum necessary guideline as you use or share sensitive participant information with others. including both society staff as well as other volunteers. Minimum necessary is basically a privacy standard that requires you limit your use and disclosure to the minimum you need to accomplish the task. That means when you access, use, or disclose participant information, limit yourself to only that information you need. That also means you should consider the role and responsibility of those to whom you share personal information, and make sure you tailor your disclosures appropriately. Finally, make sure that the individual who receives personal information from you understands the importance of protecting it. Beyond what you disclose, protect our customers' privacy when you also consider how you disclose information to others. Whenever you share confidential data to someone else, take reasonable steps to ensure that disclosure is as safe as you can make it. Put yourself in the shoes of the society and do what you believe the society would do to protect how that information is shared. Now, one special note about emails. If you create electronic reports or other data files for your event, be careful when sending them via email, since email is unsecure. Follow this three-step process. Make sure your email is the right data to the right person in the right manner. The right data means, are you sending the correct information? Is there something missing or something extra in your email? This includes both the body of the email as well as any attachments. The right person means, is the recipient the person who should receive these documents? Check your to line to make sure you have the correct email address. The right manner means, are you sending the documents in a reasonably secure manner, such as encryption? Is there an alternative? Do you need to include the word confidential in the subject line? Use your best judgment when sending emails and think about what steps the society would take, but always be mindful that data sent via email can be risky. So far, we have talked about how you use and share personal information. Now let's turn to how you protect the information in your possession. Our chief method of protecting data is by limiting access. If you can prevent access to sensitive information by unauthorized individuals, you reduce our risk of a privacy breach. So what does this mean? You may collect and maintain a number of paper and electronic files containing personal or confidential information. These documents may include registration forms, participant lists, donor lists, event reports, or other documents which may have names along with contact, personal health, or financial data. Follow these steps to help secure your files. Keep personal information in locked drawers, locked cabinets, locked rooms, or out of sight when not in use. Carefully secure files when carrying them in your car, to and from meetings, or at the event itself. Save electronic files on a password-protected drive using passwords that are not easily guessed. Avoid or minimize copies, since you must protect the copies in the same manner as originals. Finally, destroy confidential documents and files once you have finished using them. Paper checks and credit or debit card numbers require extra protections due to the risk of identity theft. In addition, most state laws have requirements on how organizations such as the Society protect these financial account numbers. Exercise the utmost caution by following these guidelines. Keep these documents locked when not in use. Do not make copies of checks or credit or debit card numbers, or hide the numbers on any copies you have to make. Mail these documents using tracking or turn into staff quickly. And finally, notify staff immediately if any cards or checks are lost or missing. If you store event data on your computer, use common computer security measures to safeguard that information. Here are a few basic tips. If your computer is in a public area, position your screen to minimize views, or use a screen protector. Password protection. Don't share your password, don't write it down, and avoid common passwords such as your name. When you step away from your device, make sure you log off. Be careful with files you download from the internet, since the files may contain a virus. Only download what you trust. Keep your software up to date, in particular your operating system and antivirus software. And backup data should be kept secure as well. Privacy breaches can be disastrous to both individuals and the society. Reporting incidents helps us to reduce our risk by eliminating further breaches. It also permits individuals to take action quickly to reduce any harm to them. Report any situation or conduct you believe violates an applicable privacy law, regulation, or the Society's privacy policy, which can be found on our website, www.cancer.org. When in doubt, the better course of action is to report. Make sure you let us know about lost or stolen electronic devices, such as laptops, smartphones, or portable devices, if they contain personal event information. This includes your personal devices as well as any society equipment. Lost or stolen documents, checks, credit or debit card receipts, or other files that contain personal health or account information. Confidential emails or faxes sent to the wrong person or people. Breach of an email or event website account, such as account takeover, when the account has access to personal information. Report your concerns as well as any complaints you receive from participants to your staff coordinator, your local or division office, or contact the Society's anonymous hotline at 1-800-539-7202. We all have a duty to protect our customers' information. This duty extends to staff and volunteers throughout the Society, including you. When accessing, using, or sharing confidential information, follow these basic tips and you will do your part to protect our customers as well as the Society. Carefully limit your use and sharing of personal participant data. Use common sense and your best judgment in how you protect personal information in your possession. What would the Society do to protect that data? Secure checks and credit or debit account numbers very carefully. Report incidents or complaints immediately, and if you're unsure, ask. Thank you for participating in this privacy training session, and thank you for supporting the American Cancer Society.